got a new tire put on. Now it needs to be balanced. I went to my garage so we could get the correct wheel weights. I'm sure those clip weights, those seem to work, so now the wheel is balanced. Now it's going to go back on the bike. New tire on. Seafoam in the gas tank. Lots of engine cleaning. Seafoam in the fuel tank. Just trying to clean out the engine. Now the engine's getting cleaned. So there's dirty stuff. It gets clean. Same with this. The clutch wasn't disengaging. I adjusted it and then it wouldn't engage. Now, after adjusting the cable again, it does engage. And it also disengages. It might need a little bit of fine tuning. Here, where are we going?
To get tires.
We have tires.
Motorcycle.
So, the way the carburetors were on, it seemed like they were slipping back out, and then after riding it for a few minutes, it started to run like shit and backfire and all this crazy stuff. It wouldn't run without the choke being fully on, and then the revs would hang. And then it was like sounding really deep and backfiring through the intake. So then we found out that the carbs weren't actually on the engine. This was too far out, and so we used tie downs to push it in, and that should fix it. The whole time it was without the carburetors being fully on it. I don't know how it managed to run like that, but you know, it was running while it was flooded too. So the motorcycle was still running poorly and like generally inconsistent. One day it would run good, the next day it would run poorly. So we figured, you know, the gas tank probably has stuff in it. So we cleaned that out, we flushed it out, and then I went to the store and bought a lawnmower fuel filter to put in line. That didn't work just because the gasoline is gravity fed, and that large filter would never work with this. So I ordered a petcock rebuild kit to fix the petcock because we figured all these black pieces that were coming through the fuel were parts of the diaphragm or something that were disintegrating. So there's this black stuff everywhere, and it's all in there too. I guess that's used to be gasoline 31 years ago. I gotta clean that. Took off the front stuff. Yeah, I mean, I used this contact cleaner to clean out through here. That should work better. I just need to put this back together. I just put all the parts of the rebuild kit onto it. I'm not sure if I should grease this part or not. Probably not, because it's in contact with gas. I don't know what the gas does with the grease, but I don't know. I'll find out. So I used Bell Ray waterproof grease, just because I don't really have grease that says gasoline, and it wouldn't even go in without using it. So, yeah, I mean, if it dissolves it, I mean, I don't know. Now it's in, and now the petcock's rebuilt. The gasket that goes up here is a little bit smaller, but it's not compressed. Like, there's a little ridge there. So I figure, you know, it expands whenever it gets compressed into it. Update on the Kawasaki. It was able to run again. But then, after we got it running, and we're riding it, we saw a big plume of smoke. We just thought, oh, I don't know. So then, after we finished riding it, it was still running, like, not very well. So we decided to have to bring it in to figure out what was wrong with it. And the lights weren't turning off. So then we looked at it and found out that the wires had melted from, like, that bad all the way across the center portion down to this connector to the voltage regulator, which happened there. The wire that used to be red that completely melted was sitting like that, because you can see there's that little spot where the insulation came off on the black one, and then shorted that out to the battery, which took all the battery's power then from that wire, which battery lead is right here, so that took it out through up here back into here where the short was, all along here onto here, which melted that wire, because it's, for some reason, this positive is not fused between the regulator. On top of that, the chain is starting to fall apart. The O-rings are just wearing out and they're just cracking and falling off. You can't really tell, but they are. So that probably has to be replaced sometime, but we have everything off. Might as well paint it again, paint the frame, paint most of the components anyways. I took out all the wiring, and I'm going to measure those and then get them in the same color in a larger gauge. I've taken everything off, mostly everything off of the frame to prepare it for painting because of the rust that's on it. And I'm going to, I might do a valve job. I have to get a new chain because some of the O-rings are broken. Yeah, I gotta do that. And then I've gotta take it to my garage sometime, do the ports. I just put on the exhaust gasket for cylinder number 4. I hadn't had it on before, and it's supposed to have it on, so I've just done that, and I'm gonna tighten everything. Yeah, I think we might have had an exhaust leak. There's soot on all this. So I've got it. I took the wire wheel and I went over most of the rust. A lot of that's really pitting, which is super hard to get out. I've always had bad experiences with that. I mean, that's mostly the same with the rear fender and the front fender, but I just bought normal enamel paint. I'm just gonna put over that. And then I might later use some kind of other system like powder coating or something. I'm not sure at the moment. So I got most of the rust taken off the frame, and I'm probably going to paint it shortly. I'm gonna use primer. So now we're painting. Of course, I dip it, and then I never know where to actually paint because I already painted most of this side. And this is primer, actually, not paint. I just took the wire wheel and really just hit everything with it. So it should stick over old paint too, because I didn't want to take all of the paint off of it. Now that I think of it, I'm probably actually going to take off these. Wait, I think I put a washer on those. Yeah, I did. Probably still going to take off the side covers anyways. Not side covers, these are turn signals. And I've got those off now. I've got the first coat of primer on it now. Most of it's dry. I do have the heater on, so, but like, you know, I started up here, this is dry. Some parts obviously like down here, they're still shiny, they're still wet. But probably gonna have to do a second, maybe a third coat. But other than that, it looks pretty good. Got my second coat of primer on it now. So I'm waiting for that to dry, and then I'm going to paint over this with just gloss black paint. I don't even know how many days it's been since I stopped painting this with the primer, but it's dry by now, obviously. So I'm going to get the paint now, which is just Rust-Oleum gloss black. And then I'm going to paint over this because I don't want a white motorcycle frame. Here's the black paint now after shaking it, all those little air bubbles in there. I've tied my hair back because even though I am a beautiful brunette, my hair is not black, and I do not want it to be black when I'm done painting this. And now we have some satisfying moments from painting, because a lot of people like to make weird, satisfying videos which don't make any sense, because me personally, I don't find it entertaining to watch videos of somebody pouring glue out of a container onto a piece of paper. It already looks pretty rustic because I got the brush strokes on it, and it's kind of like whenever you have like hipsters, whatever, they get their shipwreck paint wood and their small hose. I went to go to a movie with my family, so I left this sitting so it could dry, but I've come back and I've actually thrown paint on around this lower. I think it's just the support for the center stand. No, that's actually just the cross member for the frame. That's kind of important. And that had some rust on it. I just painted it. I didn't really want to pull out the primer again, wait for that to dry. I just finished the first layer of paint. That's over pretty much everything. I had to go over that lower frame, obviously, like I said earlier. And there's all these, swirls in it because, like I said, it's just one layer, so that's over the primer. So I have to do it all again. It's very thick for just one layer, but if I brushed it on, I didn't reduce it. For the paint on the torque link, I figured, I have a heater right here. I just put the paint onto it and then just burn it onto it. And, it stays sticky for a while, but eventually it dries out. And it's a lot faster than like waiting for your wet coats. So now the next day, paint's dried. It's not perfectly smooth, but how often do you really get motorcycle paint jobs that are textured? I've got valve cover bolts on now, and I'm starting to put it back together. I've got most of the harness on. But my problem that I'm stuck at now, I don't know if this goes like around the outside of the frame, up into the headlight housing bracket, whatever you want to call it, or if it goes like that. I don't know. It's late at night, so I'm gonna pick this up. So I've spent most of today. Well, no, I slept until like 12:30, but I spent most of today getting everything back together. I've got all the wiring on, it all works. Now I gotta put on the carburetors and then the seat and the... So I have almost all of it back together. I just need to do is enlarge, probably get another hose clamp actually. This is the fuel line from the carburetor. I have to enlarge that to fit the petcock with the life. And I found the bolts that go onto the backrest that I have, but I need to either Dremel or something out these second holes on the bottom, come on focus, so that those will fit straight against the back of this.